lit candles?
Hold on a second. Well, we're going to do it publicly. I'm glad someone did it. It's hard. It's 5:28 or something like that, sundown. So if I can make it either out or back in time to make it real to light candles, I will. If somebody's here in time to light them, that's great. But no matter what, we want to be able to say the blessing together, which means you can always, there's a little trick I learned from my Israeli cousins. They would light the candles, still run around right before Shabbat, before sundown, and then once sundown hit, they would come back and then light and then say the blessing over the candles, and when they're ready to bring in Shabbat.
Do you ladies want to come up and do it for the second time because you did it the first time?
What's the grace period? Go ahead and do it for those of us in La La Land.
Summer of 24, I was in Alaska. Summer of 24, and Havdalah was like Sunday morning at 5 a.m.
Yep. Yeah, they work that out. They do a different clock up there. They do a 12-hour clock thing. They don't go by sundown or sunset, or they'd never eat, sleep. They'd never eat, sleep, or celebrate Shabbat. It would still be Thursday or something crazy. So, anyway. Amen. Shabbat shalom. And I figure we get you up at the beginning and the end because then you have announcements later. If you want the sheet, you're welcome to. Yeah. Tomorrow always makes them exciting, so it's good. All right. Well, we're going to take a breath. It has definitely been a long week for a lot of people. And it's dark. It's weird when it's dark. Jeffrey was like 8:30 yesterday, last night. I go, okay, I'm getting ready for bed. I'm like, it's 8:30. It sure felt like it was late. Oh, well, yeah, but normally, right? Yeah, well, those of us who are night owls, when we change the time, 8:30 feels late. Yeah, there you go. I wish I could do that. So page 5, you will find Shalom Aleichem as we welcome in Shabbat. Again, long week, but we've been lucky enough to be together here and to enjoy our time here together tonight. So page 5. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShared, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We turn over to page 11. There you'll find the formal beginning of our Kabbalat Shabbat as we begin with our 95th Psalm. Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, l'Adonai. Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, l'Adonai. Naria, naria, litzur yishenu, nekadma fana betoda. Naria, naria, litzur yishenu, bizmirot naria lo. Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, l'Adonai. Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, l'Adonai. We finish the psalm over on page 12 by the arrow. Arba'im shana kut bedor va'omar am to'e levav heim v'heim lo yadud rachai asher nishbati v'yapihi im yeva'un el menuchati. Page 14 by the arrow. We join together Yismechu Hashamayim as we celebrate Shabbat. So does the earth and heavens and earth around us. Page 14. Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Umelo, oh, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Umelo. Ya'alu sada v'chol asher bo as yiranenu kol atzei ya'ar lifnei Adonai kiva lishpot ha'aretz yishpot tevel b'tzedek v'yamim b'emunato. Page 19 at the bottom on the left, if you'll join with me, please, in the selection reminding us again of the priority of Shabbat and linking us to our loved ones in Israel. We join the bottom of page 19 in the small print. Blessed is your coming, Shabbat. Blessed is your coming. Bring with you rest and peace following a tumultuous week filled with so many demands. Bring the space in which, with others and alone, we can shape an infinity of dreams. Bring the hour of forgiveness in which to hear the pounding heart of another human being. Blessed is your coming, Shabbat. Blessed is your Creator. Blessed is your light. Page 20 by the arrow. Let's join together. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Page 21, you'll find Mizmor LeDavid, our Psalm 29, that reminds us to listen to the voice of God in the world around us. Before we sing the psalm, if you'll read responsively in the Hebrew and the English with me, far left side of the page on page 21, reminding us of what it means to hear the voice of God. Page 21. Kol Adonai al hamayim, the voice of God opens the gates of compassion and love. Kol Adonai bakoach, the voice of God opens the gates of courage. Kol Adonai behadar, the voice of God opens the gates of shining truth. Kol Adonai shover arazim, the voice of God opens the gates of endurance and patience. Kol Adonai chotzef lavotesh, the voice of God opens the gates of splendorous beauty. Kol Adonai yachil midbar, the voice of God opens the gates of deepest connection. Kol Adonai yecholel ayalot, the voice of God opens the gates of presence. We rise as we join together in the singing of the psalm, again as we listen for those voices, that voice in the world around us. Page 21. Mizmor LeDavid, Havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, Havu l'Adonai kavod va'os, Havu l'Adonai kivod shmo, Ishtachavu l'Adonai be'adrat kodesh, Kol Adonai arazim. Vayishaber Adonai et arzei halevanon. Vayarkidei kemo egel Levanon v'Siryon kemo ven re'emim. Kol Adonai chotzef labotesh. Kol Adonai yachil Adonai midbar kadesh. Kol Adonai yecholel ayalot. Vayechesov yarot. Uvechalo kulo omer kavod. Adonai lamalbu yashav. Vayeshev Adonai melech leolam. Adonai oz le'amo yitein. Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. You are welcome to be seated. Page 23, you'll find Lecha Dodi. As always, it's our hymn that welcomes in Shabbat as the bride or queen into our midst. We will do the first two verses on 23, the middle verse on 24, the last two verses on 25. When we get to that last verse, as you see the note in the red, we will rise and face the door as it magically opens to welcome in the spirit of Shabbat to us. So page 23. Lecha Dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. Hishmianu el hamyuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad. L'shem u'tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lechuven elcha. Ki mekor haberacha merosh mikedem nesucha. Sof maaseh b'machshava tchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nikabela. Middle of 24. Hitoreri, kiva orech, kumi ori, uri, shirda beiri, kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha Dodi, lecha Dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nikabela. 25. Yaminu semol tifrotzi. V'et Adonai ta'aritzi al yad ish ben partzi. V'nismecha v'nakila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nikabela. We rise and face the door. Bohi v'shalom ateret bala. Gam besimcha ubetzala, toch emunei am sigula, bo'ichala, bo'ichala. Lecha, lecha, dodi, dodi, lecha, dodi, likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha, dodi, likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nikabela. You're welcome to be seated. Page 27, you'll find the Psalm for Shabbat. We join together. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, ulezamer leshimcha elyon, ulezamer leshimcha elyon. Lehagid baboker chastecha, ve'emunatcha b'leilot, alei asor v'alei navel, alei higayon bechinor, mizmor shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, ulezamer leshimcha elyon, ulezamer leshimcha elyon. Kisimavtani Adonai b'folecha ma'asedecha. Page 28, by the arrow, we conclude the psalm. Tzadika tamar yifrach, ke'erez ba'levanon yizkeh, shetulim beveit Adonai, v'chatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu, od yenuhavun b'seva, deshenim v'rananim yiyu lehagid, ki ashar Adonai tzuri, tzuri, velo avlatabo. Page 29. Adonai malach Ehud lavesh, lavesh Adonai ositazar aftikon tevel, bal timo, nachon kisacha me'az mi'olamot hanesu. Eidotecha nemnu me'od lahavecha na'ava kodesh, Adonai liorech yamim. Before we go forward into Mourner's Kaddish, just a quick note, if you turn back onto page 27, the very first, or the second line, I guess, of the psalm, of this psalm for Shabbat, which is the 92nd psalm, but if it was designated for Shabbat, but if you look at the first few words, Tov lehodot l'Adonai zamer l'shimcha elyon, just the words Tov, lehodot, which means basically it's good to thank God. So if you're looking for something to recite on your Thanksgiving day, or to add, maybe do what makes it Jewish, you can add a motzi. You could certainly pull out a prayer book, look for the Psalm for Shabbat if you find on your Friday night, at the end of the Friday night part of the service, and find the words Tov lehodot l'Adonai. It's in the transliteration down at the bottom. You see it in the translation. Easy words, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, to remember as we thank God for the gifts of life. And that's what Thanksgiving's all about. We recite this every week, but in the context of Thanksgiving, I think the words are really important and speak to us. So just keep it in mind as we go forward into Thanksgiving week and your holiday. Page 30, you will find Kaddish Tom, our Mourner's Kaddish. Anyone reciting, welcome to rise and join with me. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah. B'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam elomei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei dekudisha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran v'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Together, oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May be seated. So, we haven't shared a story in a long time, so this is a story that fits very perfectly with our Parsha of Toldot, and we'll talk a little bit more about the Torah reading itself tomorrow and some of the themes from it. But this is the Torah reading where we are introduced to Rebecca and Isaac. We've been introduced this past week. This is where we get to meet their kids, and I could say they're bratty twins, right? But this is Jacob and Esau, and immediately we move into Jacob and Esau's story in this parasha. What do we know about Jacob and Esau? Well, they were not the best of brothers, right? They fought with each other all the time. They were, even in the womb, we learn, we'll talk about this tomorrow, but poor Rebecca complained, if it's going to be like this, I'm done, I'm toast. And anyone who's ever been pregnant, at some point, you probably have had one of those moments. Well, it seemed like Rebecca had many of those moments of the twins fighting in her womb, and it didn't stop once they were born. Again, we'll talk about them a little bit more tomorrow, but this is called A Tale of Two Brothers. It's a classic rabbinic story, actually. Actually, it's from folklore. I don't think it's actually a story from the Talmud or from rabbinic literature, but it's a well-known story from folklore. And just give it some thought about how we might act as brothers. It's a metaphor. The brothers, of course, are a metaphor for our relationships with one another. But this is a lovely story. So many, many years ago in the land of Israel, there lived two brothers. Judah lived with his wife and children on one side of a large hill, and Isaac lived alone on the other side. Each brother planted fields of wheat and barley and oats, and at the time of the harvest, each would gather their grain and store it for the winter. That's what good farmers did. Year after year, God blessed both of them with a plentiful harvest. One year, the harvest was better than ever, and the grains grew taller than the brothers could even reach, golden and beautiful as far as the eye could see. Their wooden carts creaked under the weight of this wonderful bounty. As he was bringing in the last of the harvest, Judah thought to himself, this is the best harvest I've ever had. Certainly, I have plenty of food for myself and for my family. But Isaac, what does Isaac do? Well, he lives all alone. My sons can help me raise more grain if I run short, but my poor brother has no one around to help him. It's not right for me to enjoy all of this extra food. My brother deserves to have more. So that same evening, ironically, or appropriately, whichever way you want to take the story, Isaac brought in the last of his harvest. And guess what? Well, being brothers, they thought very similarly. This was a magnificent harvest, he said to himself. I have plenty of food for myself. But Judah has to provide for both his wife and his two sons. I live alone, and I have no one else to care for. It's not right for me to enjoy this bountiful harvest while my brother may have to struggle with his family. He deserves to have more. Okay, you know where it's going, right? Late that night, what did each brother do? Guess what? Yes, you heard this one before. They got out of bed and they dressed quickly. Judah was careful not to wake his wife and children. He left his house. He went outside to the pile of grain. He gathered a large part of the pile, placed it on his cart, and started up the side of the hill to bring his food to his brother's house. Isaac, ironically, also did the same thing. He dressed quickly, gathered a large part of his grain to bring to his brother. He took his cart and he started up the other side of the hill towards his brother's house. They both reached the top of the hill at the same time. Lots of variations of this story, but this is this one, right? They both, they have them doing this for several nights, like going back and forth and not understanding why suddenly there's more there of the harvest, but this is the shortened version of it. They both reached the top of the hill at the same time, and they were surprised to see each other. Realizing what had happened, they jumped out of their carts, crying, and embraced one another. God, according to the story, saw the act of brotherly love and said, "Blessed is the fields where these brothers stand." And many years later, King Solomon built the temple, the holy temple, on that very hill. It's a wonderful story to tell us about how it came to be, of all the places within Jerusalem, of all the hills, and if you've been there, you know there are many. How did the one hill get to be chosen to build the temple? And this was a wonderful piece of folklore to explain. It's a midrash to explain how it is that that hill became the one that was chosen. And it's because these two brothers, in their brotherly acts and care for one another, did what they did, and it's on that very spot, supposedly, that's where the temple was built. And of course, it's a lesson of friendship. It's a lesson of bounty, perfect for our season. It's a lesson of sharing with others, and certainly of giving thanks for what we own and wanting to, because of that, what we have, wanting to share that with others. That's really what the story, and it tells you a lot about the fact that our ancestors wanted us to look at it that way when we think about the Holy Temple and where that was built. It's not just a temple for God, right? It's a place where we share with our community, with one another. We care and we share. So bringing it back into Esau and Jacob, we are reminded, and we'll talk again about this tomorrow, we were reminded several times, they're not the only brothers that fought, right? Unlike the brothers in this story. Who else fought from the beginning? Cain and Abel, exactly. Cain and Abel. Who else fought, or at least was set up to be against one another? Joseph and his brothers, absolutely. Isaac and Ishmael. Joseph and his brothers, Isaac and Ishmael as well. Maybe not so much by themselves, but by their parents, right? And who also had some conflicts, believe it or not? Moses and Aaron. If you look at some little conflicts going on in there, criticizing, little criticism going on. In every case, the biblical narrative reveals occasions of some kind of sibling strife. The Bible is real. The Torah is real. Recognizes not all is wonderful. Yet our tradition points beyond these examples of conflict toward a loftier ideal. A brother is born to share adversity. You find that in Proverbs. A brother is born to share adversity. If we take the broader understanding of what brother really means in our lives today, not just our familial family, not just our family, not just the familial ties we have, but everybody, seeing everyone as a brother, right? An ach or an achot, a brother or a sister, then the message is clear that we are there together. We have to walk this world together, just like these brothers did in the world, to care about one another, to think about someone else before just focusing on ourselves. And so it is a wonderful message going into Thanksgiving, perfect for our parashah as we are introduced to these brothers. And we'll, again, if you want to hear a little more, I'm not going to give it away tonight, but we'll talk a little bit more about that dynamic between Jacob and Esau tomorrow and how that plays out in our history. But take this message, take this story with you, maybe tell it around the Thanksgiving table to someone, because I think it really is indicative of this season of thankfulness and of giving. And that's where we need to send our priorities, not just one day out of the year, of course, but every day and every week. And remember, what psalm do we sing? We sing the psalm for Shabbat each Friday night and each Saturday, and that psalm begins with the words Tov lehodot. It's good to give thanks, to celebrate together as a community is the import. So keep it in mind as we go through this week, and hope everyone has, if you're traveling, safe travels. If you're home with family, enjoy. With friends, enjoy. And just be mindful of the gifts we have. We'll announce later on our own interfaith Thanksgiving service in a little bit. We have our own going on here as well this coming Sunday. So that we're going to move forward. Tamara, did you have something? I know you raised your hand a while ago.
Well, I just said that they could have saved a lot of effort had they communicated.
That's probably true, but then there would be no story to tell. So good thing they didn't, because now I had something to share. Page 39a, we rise as you will find the beginning of the evening service. Again, it's all about community. Baruch Hu is the call to worship, and it's done in the context of a community, of a minyan, of our 10 or more. And reminding us again, we don't live in this world alone. Page 39a. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. May be seated. Let's read together the English on the bottom of page 39a, our blessing of light, of creation. We join together. Baruch atah Adonai, our God, sovereign of time and space, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's divisions, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from light, who makes day pass into night, who distinguishes day from night. Adonai Tzivaot is your name, living and ever-present God. May your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch atah Adonai, who brings each evening's dusk. Umavir yom umehevi laila, umavdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai Tzivaot shemo, El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch alenu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim. Page 40, we join together. Avat olam beit Yisrael, amchavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, al kein Adonai Eloheinu, v'shochveinu u'v'kumeinu, nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu v'orech yameinu, v'orech yameinu, uvahem nege yomam v'layla, yomam v'layla. V'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim, baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 41. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, Bechol levavcha, uvechol nafshecha, uvechol me'odecha, vehayu advarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, Uvlechtecha v'derech, uvshochbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. We read in the English together on 41. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all that is yours. These words that I command you this day shall be taken to heart. Teach them again and again to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your home, when you walk on your way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand and as a symbol above your eyes. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your home and on your gates. Amen. We turn over to page 44, Umalchuto Baratzon, leading up to Michamocha. Those two are words of thanksgiving as our ancestors crossed the Red Sea from slavery into freedom. We join together, page 44. Umalchuto Baratzon kiblu alehem, Moshe uMiriam uvnei Yisrael lecha'anuhu shira, v'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, norati lo sefele. Malchutecha ra'uvanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe, ze'elianu v'yamru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, v'ne'emar ki fad Adonai et Yaakov, u'ge'alo mi'ad chazak mimenu, Baruch ata Adonai, Gal Yisrael. Page 45. You'll find Hashkivenu, our prayer that asks for a sense of shalom, for peace as we end our day and begin a new one together. Let's join page 45 on the left side. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. For you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace, now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Ushmor tzeitenu uvoenu l'chaim l'shalom yatav yad olam ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Page 46, ask if you're able to rise. We sing together Bishamru, our paragraph from Exodus, reminding us of the importance of Shabbat as a sign of the covenant we share with God. Page 46. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, lidorotam berito lam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, lidorotam berito lam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti leolam, oti leolam, oti leolam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, lidorotam berito lam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai Asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. We remain standing for Chatzi Kaddish, page 46. Yitgadal v'yitkadosh shemei Rabba v'yamad yivarach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael Bagala, bagala, uvizman kari veimeru, amen. Yeheshme Rabba mevorach, le'olam olam me'almaya yitbarach, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitroma, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yithalal, Shemei de Kudisha berichu, leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran v'alma, v'meru, amen. You'll find the silent Amidah this evening, page 47 through 52. As always, feel free to add your own personal thoughts to the words on the page, and maybe I'll challenge you a little bit to look for the pieces that use the word thanks or thanksgiving. They are in here, especially on page 50, where we say Modi Manachim Lach. So again, add your own personal thoughts and maybe your words of thanksgiving to the words on the page. We're on the middle of page 51. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Kol Yoshvei Tevel Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Ki atahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav al Kol Yoshvei Tevel Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה b'shlomecha. Back to the beginning. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al kol yoshvei tevel tasim leolam. Tasim leolam, tasim leolam. We turn over to page 54, where you'll find Kaddish Shalem. Yitkadav yitkadash shemei Rabba v'yalmad yivrach nutei v'yamlich machutei b'chai echonef mechon uv'chai yerecho b'Yisrael ba'agala u'zman kari v'yimeru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam alal me'almaya yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha. Barichu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechmata da'amiran miyama v'imeru. Amen. Titzgabal tzloton uvuton d'chol Yisrael kodama v'huni v'yishemaya v'imeru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim alen v'yal kol Yisrael v'imeru. Amen. O Hoseh shalom bimromav Uya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru imru. Amen. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imeru. Amen. You'll kindly turn towards the back of your Siddur on page 173. There, as always, you'll find our prayer for healing, our Misha Berach, with the words from Debbie Friedman. As we always do, I have our list of those who are on our Misha Berach list asking for health and healing. And of course, this is not just physical healing, but spiritual, emotional, and healing for the world as well. And we'll name these, and if you have others to name, as always, we'll go around and do that. So as we prepare for our Misha Berach, we keep in our thoughts this evening Shulamit bat Gittel, Yisraela bat Sipora, Devorah bat Avraham Vasara, Gittel Glasser, Marjorie Morstein, Barbara Feingold, Harriet Siegel, Nadine Hyman, Irene Friedman, Gary Kramer, Francis Haber, Suzanne Gott, Joan Klepp, Susan Aller, Megan Contigno, Natalie Kogan, Bernie Rowe, Esther Wiener, Hannah Lipman, Peter Jacobson, Elizabeth Alfieri, Jim Hoffman, Joel Lowenstern, Bonnie Carlton, Rivka Markowitz, Victor Alfieri, Arlene Hoffman, and Bruce Fine, and any other names we add. Okay. She knows who she is. It's okay. We keep all of them in our thoughts, as well as healing for the world as we join together, far left side of the page on 173. Mi sheberach avoteinu mikor habaracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mikor habaracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Refuah shlema to all in need. We turn back to our Aleinu on page 56. And as we do, we will open the Aron HaKodesh once again. Alice, you want to help us? And I don't know if, Tamar, you want to help her? Because you can then get your announcement sheet anyway. As long as you're picking her to come do it, you can go do it with her. How's that? Page 56, we rise as we join together. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, la'tet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam, v'anachnu kor'im, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו וגם הם מרומים הוא אלוהינו Einod, emet malkeinu efes ulato, kakatu b'torato, v'yadat hayom v'hashevota elevavecha, ki Adonai hu ha'elohim ba shamayim mima'al, v'yaretz, מתחת עינו על כן נקבל אף אדוני אלוהינו ופרצך כי המלכות שלך היא ולמעט תמלוך בכבוד ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד. You are welcome to be seated.
My turn?
Not yet.
Okay.
In one more second, so just stay up there if you like. As we turn to Mourner's Kaddish once again, which you will find over on page 58, we Continue to remember as we go through the Shloshim period, we continue to remember Estelle Rice. And we can think about those whose yortzites are occurring today and in the week that is coming, including Doris Sickles, Barbara Shimlock, Lena Chenenke, Victor Davis, Sarah Weinberg, Rose Rosenblum, Charles Schweitzer, Lillian Simon, Joyce Abrams-Ross, Bernard Gidding, Rose Lefkowitz, Selma Bixson, Ida Stotsky-Dyatkin, and Sylvia Lurie. Any others are not on the list? Those reciting, you're welcome to rise and join with me, page 58. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam elomei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudisha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. You are welcome to be seated now, Miss Tamar, my Bima buddy, if you have some announcements for us.
Announcements. Terrible death. Friday night oneg. Oh, sorry. Oh, can you hear me now? Okay. So, Friday night oneg, thanks to Eni and Josh Smith. Apparently there's something that was imported from abroad. Saturday morning tomorrow, Victoria and Alexander Trepetin. Announcements and updates. CBI Book Club. Meeting this Sunday at 12:15 in the social hall. Current book is Land of Hope and Fear by Isabel Kirshner. Join CBI and Northside Methodist Church. It's right there. For our annual Interfaith Thanksgiving services, Sunday at 5 p.m. this coming, so 2 days from now. We've been doing this, folks, for 40 years. That's a long time, pretty impressive. So join us, unite with our neighbors, express gratitude and thanks for the gifts of life. Next door will host this year a light reception to follow. Please come represent. It's really important that we show up. A reminder that offices will be closed Thursday and Friday for Thanksgiving.
No Friday night service next week. No Friday night service next week.
On the 28th. Don't forget to sign up for this year's Southern Schmooze, February 27th to March 1st. If you haven't been, it's pretty amazing. It's amazing. I cannot begin to tell you how amazing. There are no excuses. Get to know us, get to know each other in a gorgeous outdoor area. We celebrate with Shabbat with other people from across the southern United States, small Jewish communities, talk about good things, bad things, challenges, successes. Kids are there. It's a lot of fun. If you have any questions or need help or anything, contact the rabbi, wherever she may be. Nominal financial help available if you need it. Age to Perfection, Thursday the 4th with Ageless Grace. I was here, when was it? Yesterday? The day before? I can't remember. Huh? It was yesterday. Shows you where my brain is. I came for it. It was really interesting. Come and try it. December 18th is our Hanukkah party. Both of them 11 o'clock. So that's Thursday the 4th for Ageless Grace and Thursday the 18th for the Hanukkah party. Sisterhood gift wrap at the Haywood Mall begins on Tuesday the 9th. We need you. Come for an hour. Come for a few hours. We need you. You don't have to know how to wrap. You just have to stand there and look pretty. 2 weeks of gift wrapping really helps out the religious school and the kitchen. So, intermediate Hebrew with Fred Leffert, Sunday at 9:30. The whole Megillah with Rabbi Cohen this Sunday, the 23rd at 10:30. And then Torah study again with Fred Leffert, Tuesdays, 5:30 via Zoom. Check your newsletters, read it. Anniversaries, Michael and Mindy Unger are the 28th. And then we have birthdays, the 24th is Sharon Bookbinder. The 24th, again, Max Borders, William Lasser on the 25th, and Amy Lansky on the 27th. Done.
The only one who gets a standing applause, yes, when announcements. I know it's a very busy Sunday, as it was last week as well, but please try to come to the interfaith service Sunday evening. It's short, 5 to 5:30-ish. That's why we make it early. There'll be a nice, I should say it's not kosher necessarily. They have a lot of variety of different foods, but you can eat as you eat. But it's always very lovely. We've hosted every other year. We go back and forth. But it is something that we've been doing, this community's been doing for 40-something years, I'm told. Our friends over there are just lovely human beings. And we had a very small crowd last time we went over there a couple years ago. I missed last year's because of my dad, but I know Barry Knox was here helping out, and we had a very nice group. But please, let's try and show our support for this important moment in our calendar every year, and for our friends next door. So, yeah. Church right next door. That's it. Right here. This way. It is literally the church next door. You can park in our lot and walk across it. You can park in their lot. It's a beautiful sanctuary they have. It's a church, but it's a beautiful sanctuary they have. And again, they go down and have a nice little oneg. It's a great way to meet people, and met some lovely people when we were there 2 years ago. They do some music, I think, as well. They have a wonderful pianist and musician there. She's fantastic. So it's a feel good, and it's a learning. I get to give the drash. So this year, and when we do it over here, Pastor Harder gives the drash, different words, the sermon, right? But I really want to encourage you, if you haven't been, please try to come. And again, it's half an hour. Maybe go out with friends after if you want. You'll get a lot of hors d'oeuvres. You may not even need to eat dinner by the time you're done. But it really is a lovely, very short service, but just a very lovely opportunity to meet our neighbors next door. It's a primarily older crowd. It's not necessarily a kid program, but it is. They're just lovely people, and I think we have a lot to give thanks for this year. We're used to complaining about the way the world is, and there's plenty of things to complain about. But take half an hour in your Thanksgiving week to join with others to say thank you for the gifts that we have. With that, we are going to, I think, conclude over on no page. We're going to conclude with our bim bam as usual, and then we'll head into the back for our oneg with Kiddush and Motzi, and continue to schmooze. So, and she did mention the schmooze. The schmooze is important. If you need more information, look on in the bulletin. Look on our weekly e-news has been in there. We hope we'll get some new people to come join us. I'm working on getting the synagogue in Columbia to be a part of things. That would be really nice if we meet our friends from there. And from Chattanooga, Knoxville, and Montgomery are all in again this year. So if you went last year, some of you have been several years now, and we will be with the kids. For those of you who love the teenagers, we're sharing the space with them. They help out a little bit, the Ramah teenagers who are there for a special weekend, the older teens. So it is just a wonderful opportunity to be together. So please, if you have questions, let me know. If you really are interested, I can set up time for the director. She's been asking me if she wanted me to do this, but we can set up time for the retreat director to talk with us about what it's all about. So she's happy to do that as well and answer any questions. So with that, we're going to conclude with a little bim bam, a little Shabbat Shalom, and a little yummies in the back. So let's do it. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, bim bam bim bam, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, everybody. We'll head into the back. And if you can always help clean up after if you're here, that would be very helpful as well. And I'll see you there in just a second.